And my question is, for men as a collective, why does it appear like you all are resistant to evolving the definition of what it means to be a man while simultaneously hating the effects and the results and consequences of abiding by what it means to be a man?
This is a really good question, and I'm going to offer my thoughts on it, even knowing that this is going to upset some people. The long and the short of it is that men are not great at dealing with criticism, just can't handle it. The feelings get too big. And so we shut down. It's easier just not to deal with any of it or think about it, to keep our heads down and our eyes forward, to keep marching in the same well-worn grooves left behind by our fathers and grandfathers, even as we complain bitterly how doing so hurts our feet and takes us to places we don't want to go. And if you have any doubt on this, just listen to what men ask for. I want a woman who isn't a nag, a woman who doesn't have any baggage, a woman who doesn't ask questions. She needs to be my peace. Men have invented dozens of euphemisms to say the same thing. I don't want to be challenged or criticized. And it isn't archaic manhood that these men are upholding, that was based on reputation, respect, honor, integrity, and loyalty, and the well-being of those in your care. It's the more modern performance of masculinity, where your status as a man is based on a display that is validated by other men. The exclusive sports car you drive, the luxury watch on your wrist, the immaculate suits and shirts that you wear, the beautiful women on your arm. And it's understandable why this switch happened when the Industrial Revolution took off. I cannot sell you integrity or reputation. I can, however, sell you a watch to make you appear more refined, or the sports car that makes you seem more virile, or the fitness program and supplements to give you a body women can't resist. And it is not a coincidence that these podcast dudes all fit the same mold. They adopt the same sanitized, marketed, and prepackaged masculinity so they can sell you the add-on DLC. Look at me, I wear all the clothes and have all the trappings of a real man, and I will teach you how to become one. Just sign up and become a member. Want to be better with women? Then buy my course. But the moment you question any of this pyramid scheme, the entire house of cards comes crumbling down. What if I don't value those things? What if I don't want to pursue material wealth? What if I want to travel and volunteer? What if I don't want kids? What if I don't want to get married? And what if I don't care what other men think? Dangerous questions. So to keep the pyramid scheme going, we're socialized not to ask questions, and that gets baked into our identity. A real man is confident, sure of himself. He doesn't stop to ask others what they think or care about their feelings. That sounds like one of those wishy-washy women that's always changing their minds. And that socialization happens incredibly early. You may have already seen this viral video about how children handle disgust and empathy. They were given jelly that was salty and asked how it was. By 5, the girls had learned to tell white lies to protect the feelings of others, saying that yes, they enjoyed it, or it was salty, but they like salty. The boys, however, had a very different approach.
I told her it was not good.
Why did you tell her that?
'Cause it wasn't good.
What about her feelings?
She was okay with that.
Even when prompted, there's no pause, no moment to stop and consider empathy, no room for questions. Because boys and men must be confident, direct, self-assured, and without doubt. And the need to always avoid criticism, to never stop, to never reflect, has made for generations of men that are fragile to criticism and deeply incurious. We don't ask questions because we're content with shallow relationships based on sports or video games that never touch on what frightens us, the parts of ourselves that we struggle to love, or the pain that weighs us down. We don't ask questions because we don't want to pry. We're taught to be self-sufficient, to not need to ask for help, and that doing so is a sign of weakness. So we treat others the way that we want to be treated, in case we open the door for them prying into our lives. We don't ask questions because we're afraid of what we might find out. We might have to accept that we have hurt others, or that they need more from us, more honesty, more transparency, more of our time, and truthfully, we have nothing more to give. Because the other reason we don't ask questions is we are overloaded. We are at our breaking point, struggling to provide financially, provide emotionally, to be present in our relationships, and navigate this constant performance and display of what success looks like in a restricted box with a limited tool set. We've spent an entire lifetime avoiding self-reflection, never stopping to look inward, to where we can no longer accept criticism. Just questioning us can often provoke intense emotional overreactions, displays of anger, rage, and violence. We are overwhelmed by intense emotions, fear, guilt, shame, frustration, and a growing sense of failure, trapping men in a world where all they know how to do is to constantly react emotionally rather than pause, to thoughtfully respond. The truth is, for a lot of men, these are 200 or even 300 level conversations. And what we need are more 101 level conversations about helping men to experience and process negative emotions in a healthy manner, to recognize where their fears, their shame, their insecurities lie, to have authentic conversations about these things and be vulnerable. And then we can talk to them about all the ways the performance of masculinity is not only not meeting their needs, but is actively harming them. But when we talk about masculinity and patriarchy, for a lot of these men, it just reopens these lifelong wounds of never feeling enough, of never feeling loved. And that uncomfortableness and avoidance around criticism just leads to projection, frustration, and anger, killing any hope of a productive conversation. It's why men's conversations online are dominated by thousands of accounts, not talking about how to navigate depression or remedy isolation or the importance of annual physicals, all of which are major men's health issues that need addressing. But instead, the major priority is men attacking women and feminism for criticizing men. And if men actually stopped for a moment to examine that criticism, we would see that it comes from a good place. A burning desire by women to elevate men and lift them out of the muck of a pain and despair that we feel trapped in. A desire to liberate men and help them to lead happier and healthier lives.